Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is a 15-year-old Caucasian autistic male who was reported missing February 26th, 2024 from the Stratford Court area of Hendersonville, Sumner County, Tennessee. Sebastian is 5'5" tall, weighing 113 pounds, and he has sandy brown short hair, brown eyes, and may be wearing glasses. Sebastian was last seen on February 25th, 2024, around 9 p.m. when his mom, Katie, saw him go to bed. According to his mother, Sebastian was wearing a long sleeve shirt with a picture on the front and black track pants with white stripes down the side. He was also wearing prescription glasses that you see in almost every picture of him that's more recent. They're the ones with the black frames. Sebastian has said to have left the house without any shoes on. Now, according to his mother, Katie, all of his shoes are still accounted for in their home. And it said that Sebastian also brought a keychain type flashlight, like the little ones that you have on the keychain, the ones that you can press, and there's a tiny little light bulb, and that's what illuminates. And his mother, Katie, says that she thinks Sebastian took it with him because it's missing from their house. So he left in the middle of the night with no shoes on and a keychain flashlight, according to Chris and Katie Proudfoot. Now, Sebastian leaving without shoes on is going to be a major detail because, according to his father, Seth, Sebastian had a bad experience when he went barefoot. And from there on out, he didn't go barefoot again, which makes it hard to believe that he went out in the middle of the night. I also find it odd that he would bring a keychain flashlight with him when those don't really illuminate a huge amount of space or area. But Katie Proudfoot maintains that it is missing from the house and Sebastian had to have taken it with him. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I mean, he possibly could have taken it with him. Let me know what you think. Now, as of today, April 2nd, 2024, Sebastian has been missing for 37 days total. There is a press conference scheduled for today, but I'm not sure what it's going to be about, and police have scaled back the search, so I'm praying for the best. In today's video, we're going to watch the remainder of the first interview that Chris and Katie Proudfoot gave Channel 4 local news in Nashville, Tennessee. Please go over and check out my other video where the first part of this interview that we're going to finish up is. I did a separate video. But for today, we're going to go ahead and focus on the remaining interview with Chris and Katie. And then we are going to talk about the search. And I understand that some people don't like commentary and pausing throughout the video, so I'm going to take a little bit of time like I did to just talk about what we're going to go over and see first off. And then at the end, I'll also tell a little bit about what I think and give some more commentary. I have included a short interview with Sebastian's dad after the Proudfoots interview, Mr. Seth Rogers. He gave an interview to Channel 5, which is also local news for Nashville. And just to give you a time frame of reference, if you're looking at a timeline, Seth's interview is about 2 weeks after Sebastian goes missing interview, which happened 8 days after Sebastian went missing. So let's dive in.
Is there anything that happened that day that you think back and there might have been a reason he was possibly upset or something outside that could have enticed him to go outside? Was there anything that came to mind?
We've been combing over that day and even the weeks before he left, and I hadn't been able to figure it out. He's that morning he was laughing, he was joking. Everyone we were around that day agreed that he seemed like he was in a good mood. He was behaving. It'd make more sense if we'd been fighting.
Or you'd been in trouble, but he hadn't even been in trouble. So, I mean, the $1 million question, why did he go? And the other $1 million question is how.
What about social media? Was there anything that, anyone he could have contacted? I understand he was somewhat of a gamer, or what was he? There was a video game he loved, right?
Minecraft. He loves Minecraft. The game that he has is not online. He has the Switch.
We don't, because of how social media can be, he doesn't have accessibility to communicate with folks
on the
internet. I mean, we have a firm belief that we just don't feel that right now that he's capable of having that kind of responsibility. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, his phone is locked down, his computers, his gaming. He doesn't have a gamer tag. He doesn't have online capabilities with games. I mean,
we've combed every electronic. I
mean, we've cooperated with all the authorities as far as anything they've asked us to provide, we've provided, and still just don't have any answers.
Did he have any friends that could have possibly contacted him in some way on his phone?
All his friends at school have been questioned to my knowledge, and none of them knew anything.
So this big question mark. He's vanished.
Yes, ma'am.
And no one can figure out where or why. All right. So let's talk too about the relationship involved, because the biological father is very much involved in Sebastian's life as well.
Yes, ma'am. Very much.
Right. And how would you describe that relationship, the two of them and the four of you?
It's relatively good. I mean, we talk regularly. He talks to his son on a regular basis, sees him on a regular basis. He's involved in school and therapy, and I mean, he didn't have any extracurricular activities, but I can tell you now, if he did, his dad would be in the front row.
I mean, two different households. And the communication between the three of us is great. I mean, yes, we're just like every parent. We all have our disagreements, but in the end, we come together as a team and we work and we come up with solutions that as we best see fit. I mean, I'm almost in contact with him almost daily.
Let's talk about Sebastian. Tell me about Sebastian. How would you describe him?
Sweet, stubborn. He loves to help. He loves running, and he loves to play his games and his fidgets and Uno. Lord, that's one of his favorite games right now. Favorite color is green.
Does he love music?
Oh, God, he loves music.
An eclectic taste. I mean, from, as everybody knows, Eye of the Tiger to Eddie Vedder.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we got Pearl Jam on one hand, we've got Survivor on the other over here, we've got Taylor Swift, and
he's got a big crush on her.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, country, rock,
no
classic.
hip hop. We don't allow the hip hop.
Well, he doesn't really get into it anyways.
Rap and things.
You mentioned he loved running. So did he love the outdoors at all? I mean, would something outside that was somewhat outdoorsy be enticing to him or pull him outdoors?
He loves, like, when we were in California and the school had this lap thing to gain money. It was a fundraiser. And every year he was, I did this many laps. I mean, I've got T-shirts where they would write on his back. Every time the kids went around, they'd mark a mark on the back and they'd keep running. And he just had marks all the way across his back. He likes playgrounds. He hates being dirty. He don't like being dirty.
Yeah, he's not your tomboy style child where he goes outside and plays in the mud.
He loves animals, but he's terrified of bugs.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, even a fly, and he's like,
Let's talk too, because he's highly functioning. I know you all have described him as having a form of autism.
He does.
But describe that to our viewers too, as far as his way of thinking of things and maybe how determined he was about certain things or his mindset.
He's got a stubborn mindset. If he believes it's this,
he gets on a one-man track and he is just on it, and he is all about it.
But I mean, he's very smart. He can play chess. He can beat adults in chess.
Wow.
So
he loves playing games.
What about navigation? Like, did he have a sense of direction? Do you think he could have possibly even hitched a ride or gotten a ride on a bus or some sort of transportation?
That is a speculation that we don't have an answer for. Just directionally, he knows he could guide you from our house to his dad's house.
Yeah.
He could get from like this house, I think he can make it up to Culver's ice cream.
He can go to Culver's.
Oh, the boy loves
He knows where Culver's is because Culver's has malt. He loves malt, extra malt. Every time, extra malt.
Now, how far away does his dad live?
Clarksville. His dad lives up by Clarksville.
So he could guide someone all the way to Clarksville.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. So a pretty keen sense of direction, at least with certain things.
Familiar routes.
Yes.
Familiar routes. Okay.
Familiar routes.
I mean, if I took him another route going this way, he would not know it.
He goes up there so often that he knows how to get to his daddy's. We know that.
His dad works with him as far as, well, we're going this way, we're going that way, and keeps the same thing, and it works out. So,
let's talk too, because earlier, Chris, you and I were talking, and you were saying that there are a lot of people who are harassing both of you. What of any of that do you want to address? What do you want to say to any of these people?
Just that you don't know, and I don't wish you to ever know.
I would say it like this. Everybody has an opinion. You know, and it's perfectly okay to have that opinion. But you're not in this situation. You don't quite understand. I wish people would step back, take a different wide open view, and not assume what they know. It's just better to stick to the facts. If they have questions, all they have to do is ask.
And I pray genuinely that no one ever goes through this.
Just be kind to people. I mean, it's real simple.
There are some people who have been talking, because I know this is part of the harassment. Is there anything you want to address about this child custody situation with the previous?
So I have a current case that is ongoing in another state. We've requested that case to be sealed because there are some individuals who have taken upon themselves to put stuff out there that they don't quite know, which all they have to do is ask, I'll tell you. But because of that, you know, it has nothing to do with our son. It has nothing to do with the situation. You know, I just, people would respect that and then keep an open mind. It's totally different.
If Sebastian was able to watch this, and maybe he's watching this as it airs, and if he is, what do you want to say to Sebastian? What do you want him to hear from you right now?
Oh gosh, that we love you so much, and we want you to come home, and you're not in trouble.
I guarantee you he is loved. And trust me, the open arms are waiting for him to come home. From every parent to every family members to probably everyone in the community. But there's no malice. We just want our boy home. Badly. But
that mama's heart, I know it's daddy's too, but I feel like there's always that extra special bond. Can you walk us through what you're thinking right now?
I just want my baby to be okay. I don't know where he's at. I don't know where he's at.
Let's talk about the community, because I want you all to know, even my church body, I mean, we're all praying for his safe return quickly. What do you all want to say to the community?
Thank you.
With everything from the bottom of our hearts. I would not have imagined how far this has gotten, but there's no way to repay the gratitude, the love that we've felt from the community, the prayers. But thank you.
But don't stop looking.
Yeah, please.
My son is somewhere.
This ain't over until he's home.
That's right. So we have, let's mention, it's been on the search itself, because we know thousands of miles have basically been traced and retraced. We've got hundreds, we've got volunteers, we've got law enforcement from within the state, from without, outside of the state. I mean, do you feel like they're doing as much as they can? I mean, you all have been right there in the front seat, seeing everything that's underway.
As far as I know, they're doing everything. Anything and everything has been an option. They have brought in assets and resources from various counties, potentially other states. I mean, I don't know how much more they could do, but we're grateful for everything they have done.
They're amazing, but they still haven't brought my baby back.
They will. They will.
He's out there somewhere. So it's one day at a time, getting through this and bringing him home.
Yeah.
What is the reaction to the fact that somehow his image, he hasn't been captured on any video anywhere?
I know that it was very dark that night. I mean, it gets dark around here at night in general, but so far we haven't found him on any camera footage to prove where he's at or where he's gone. I know that they're looking, and I went asking everybody and anybody that has cameras, trail cams, stores, to check, even from before he went missing, just to see if there's anything at all.
And I understand there was a request for video, any sort of footage of Sebastian from earlier in the day, on Sunday, before he disappeared.
That I don't believe we can comment on right now. That is not something that I believe we're privy to at this point with law enforcement. That is something I would definitely direct back to them. But I mean, there's all kinds of requests out there. There's thousands of hours of video that they are combing, and we're just hoping they'll find something.
And I know this is so sensitive. What do you say to people who inevitably end up pointing their finger back at you? We were talking earlier, and I mean, are you both in the clear?
I can tell you that Mom, myself, and the father have worked very fully and cooperatively with all agencies across the board. We have anything that they've wanted, we have provided. So cooperation is there. I mean,
what do you want to say to our viewers? Anybody who's watching, we've got a lot of folks in this community and in other counties just throughout the state as well. What do you want to say to them?
Help spread the word and keep searching, and thank you. And just, if you think you see him, call him in.
Thank all the viewers, everybody that's helped from across the board. I mean, everybody has been tremendous.
Call his name.
Yeah.
He'll answer, and if he doesn't answer, he'll look. even if he's not being verbal at the moment, because he can talk, but sometimes he don't talk. Call his name, tell him to stay put.
And he could be on the move, so keep checking your properties.
Yes. The search is never over until he comes home. That is for sure.
So smart.
But thank you for everything that everybody has done, has volunteered, the continuous efforts. I mean, it's, like I said, I've never seen something to this magnitude before.
Our community is amazing.
We're all praying, hoping, and searching for Sebastian's safe return for that day. Thank you both for talking with me.
I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Kelsey Gibson for Carrie Tonight. For the first time, we are getting a look at family video of the missing 15-year-old. Sebastian's biological father gave it to Nick Barris during an exclusive on-camera interview.
Seth Rogers shares custody of his son, and the deputy with the Davidson County Sheriff's Department spent the past 2 weeks looking for Sebastian.
I'm hoping he's still alive. You know, that's my main hope right now, is that he's not deceased. I mean, I keep praying that he's alive. I keep praying that somebody's going to see him, that somebody's going to call 911.
Seth's 15-year-old son disappeared barefoot and with a flashlight from his mother and stepfather's home in Hendersonville either late on Sunday, March 3rd or early that Monday. Seth knows the key to finding his son may come from a tip. Several photographs have already been made public, and now he's released 2 video clips of Sebastian. In this first one, you see Sebastian up front on the left in yellow shorts, participating in a tug-of-war with fellow students.
And if you watch, he got swung around at the end like a little rag doll, and it's like, well, he gave it his best.
This second video shows Sebastian walking at his middle school graduation.
I was very proud of him. I mean, he successfully completed something.
Seth says his son, who is autistic, is not a wanderer. He finds it highly unlikely Sebastian would leave in the middle of the night barefoot, based on an experience his son had as a child.
He decided that he wanted to step into a mound of what he thought was dirt, and it was fire ants. And since then, it's always been, he doesn't like to get his feet in the dirt. He likes to have his socks and shoes on.
Seth won't rule out the possibility of foul play, that someone is involved in his son's disappearance. And if Sebastian is able, he says he needs to call for help.
He needs to call 911. And if somebody has him, you need to give him back. He's my son, and he doesn't belong to nobody, but damn it, he's mine. And he's mine.
Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Okay, guys, that was absolutely heart-wrenching and heartbreaking to watch. It's an undeniable fact that these 2 interviews were vastly different. In the first interview, we have parents who are skating over questions that are asked, not staying on task, and basically spending a lot of time talking about nothing that would really help find their son. In the second interview, we have a parent that is focused, out and searching. When he's asked a question, he is straightforward and to the point. He doesn't talk a bunch of nonsense about Sebastian's favorite things because it's not relevant to the search. What Sebastian's father, Seth, does talk about, however, is the fact that Sebastian would not leave without his shoes on willingly. Don't get me wrong, I would love to get to know Sebastian and hear all about what he likes and, get to know him. By all accounts, he is sweet and fun and just a good kid to be around. But 8 days into the search, all of that is irrelevant. No matter what kind of person you are, if you go missing, people should look for you. Your family should look for you. Your friends should be looking for you. Especially when a child goes missing. What is very important is the details leading up to his disappearance and the details surrounding what happened in the morning when he was found to be missing. Now, the only person who really knows the truth about that is Katie Proudfoot and arguably Chris Proudfoot. Now, he was working out of town. Katie phoned Chris the first thing. He was the first one she called on the morning of February 26th, 2024, and he made the call to authorities that morning around 6:20 a.m. to report Sebastian missing from their home. Now, the presser they had scheduled for today was a bit of a dud, and I say that because it was only about 13 minutes long, and they didn't have any information that we didn't already know about to share. But they did confirm that they found a pair of glasses, but they didn't know who they belonged to. I know that Sebastian was said to have left his home with his black frame glasses, but that they didn't specify if the glasses that were found looked like the glasses or anything. They just said that they didn't know whose they were yet. They did say that they were going to further investigate and that if anybody had any information that they needed to call TBI hotline, which I did put in the video, or the police phone number, which is also in the video. I think the most interesting piece of the presser was the authorities confirmed that no one has been cleared. And I know that in this particular video, an interview with Chris Proudfoot, he does not say that they were cleared, but in future interviews that were after this one, he has been caught lying to people on social media that he and Katie had taken polygraph tests and passed. But then he turned around on Nancy Grace while they were interviewing with her. Katie confirmed that she took a polygraph test and that she passed it. But when Chris was asked if he took a polygraph test, he said that he did not take one. Which, there's receipts. He definitely told people on social media that he took and passed it, that he and Katie both did. He also told Nancy Grace that he would take a polygraph for her anytime, any place, anywhere, name the place, time, etc. I still haven't heard anything regarding that, if any of her colleagues have performed that, or if he decided that he was going to go ahead and do that. I'm not quite sure. But again, the most interesting piece of the press conference for me today was that no one has been cleared and everyone's still being looked at because they don't know what happened. They don't know what they don't know. And that's basically the quote from and what they said. So at this point, they're just going to go ahead and go over everything again with a fresh set of eyes. And they said they're definitely still searching and that they're not giving up and it's still an open investigation. So, in short of Sebastian being found or them saying that they found a really great clue, like if those were his glasses, it's really the best that we could have hoped and prayed for today in a press conference. I know it doesn't change the fact that Sebastian is still missing, but with all the drama surrounding this case and the search in particular, at least we know that law enforcement still has their eyes all over Sebastian's disappearance. And as I said in the video, we all know that people do not just vanish. We can't just disappear even if we want to. And unfortunately, based on this interview, it almost makes you wonder if Sebastian did want to just disappear. I say that because it seems like no matter what he did, he was never going to please his stepfather. He was heavily restricted, controlled, and isolated from his peers outside of school. And as we go along, you will see that's just the kind of guy that Chris Proudfoot is. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and please let me know what you think in the comments. The next video will be of the Proudfoot's second interview. Bye, guys. Talk to you soon.